back to Attingham Park for episode 19, The Origins of Feldcorp. Good afternoon, everyone. You find us here back at the old TMR gold mine of ours. I can get these in without doing something silly. There we go. Yes, as you can see, it's now day 3, late winter, and we are just passing 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the money from last time has gone down quite a bit. Now, there is a good reason for that, which we'll talk about and see in a little bit. Essentially, what we've done is we've purchased a new piece of land. If I can squeeze these naughty bales out from in there. Okay, lovely. This is going to be a bit awkward since they're on like 1 tine or whatever these things are, but we'll get it in there. Yeah, basically we bought field. We did some looking around, and what we found was, okay, there we go, back to a better view. We purchased field. Let me show you on the map here, because I can't remember what number it is anyway. Field 43. That's the one we got. And you may notice a small patch of field has disappeared. That's right, we now have ourselves a yard. We had a look around and chatted with the owner down there, and there's a nice sort of flat area in this top section of the field up here. So we purchased it, and we've done some construction. We've got some buildings up there, and we've made ourselves a nice little farmyard. So we are going to be moving some of our equipment up there. We did pay for our multi-silo thing from down at the shop, down at our HQ, the seed and fertilizer Anne-Marie special. We paid to get that transferred up to here as well. So this is basically going to be our storage for farm equipment and stuff, and back down at HQ is going to be more sort of the transport lorries and other things as we progress with them. And also, we were having a chat with, I think it was Scott that owns Field 13, and Rebecca down here that owns Field 42. And basically what we've also done is enhanced the little sort of crossover point here that they had. Let me carry on with this while we're talking. Yeah, there was a little sort of raised part of the river where you could basically just drive across safely, but it wasn't the best thing in the world due to how sort of it's just a very small area. I forget what the official term for them is now, those little areas like that, but yeah, it's one of these just little sort of crossing areas on a river. And yeah, so we'd had a chat with them, and what we've done is we've all agreed to put in a bridge, which has been completed. So there is now a much better crossing there for larger machinery, and we'll show you that in a little bit once we get down with these, or with this load of TMR. If I could get these bales, that would be really handy. I just want these too. There we go, that's got it. Yeah, basically we'd put in a nice new bridge, so we can travel down there and cross over there, and so we've all signed sort of right to travel kind of agreement along the sort of bordering. You know, it's like just for farmers. Obviously, it's not going to be like a commercial route for people to, regular people, townsfolk to be driving down or anything. It's just for us farmers to be using. So yeah, we've got that all set up there now, and we'll see that in a minute, because what we'll do is drive down, and yeah, so that's all looking pretty good. So we'll get this in here, and then we'll head off down there. Now, one of the reasons we were going to put some of this in storage and not worry too much about it for the rest of the year, but since we've got the hay bales, we are going to make this load and one more load of PMR to sell. And the reason being, if I pop up the sales page quick, what we're going to do is trade in the John Deere. because we had a few issues with it harvesting. It seems to run the header very, very low to the ground, and it was just having some minor issues with things, and I noticed this little beastie has popped up, and it's only 102 grand used, which is fantastic. That is literally like an amazing harvester. So well, obviously we're not going to get it with tracks because that jacks the price up quite a bit, but we're going to get the wheeled option there, and it is it's a 111,000 litre 300 horsepower harvester. So we're going to look at getting that, hopefully, if we can afford it, because that would be nice. I think that would be a good upgrade on the John Deere, and potentially, let me just check our John Deere here, because the header, now we are going to get rid of the header as well, because it was a matched one for the harvester. But yeah, we are going to get rid of that. At the moment, it's only got an 8,500 litre, 1,000 litre. No, wait. What am I trying to say? An 8,550 litre header, or tank in it. I just can't words today, it seems. Yeah, so the header, the tank in that harvester is smaller than the New Holland, and the New Holland, I think at its smallest, is about the same as the maximum size for that John Deere, because we could upgrade it a bit. But like I say, I was having some sort of minor issues with the header, and just some other little odds and ends going on that I wasn't especially happy with about how it was performing. Yeah, it may be we got the wrong header on it, or we could get a better header or something like that. But I saw that come up, and I'm like, well, we've got 2 more loads of TMR, and with the value of the John Deere as well, it'll put us well in the range to actually buy it. So I figure we'll do that. But yeah, obviously there's not much contract work that we can do at the moment. But here is our bridge that we've put in. It's a very nice bridge. It's an AJ Tech bridge for anyone that's interested in those sorts of things. And yeah, this is the sort of side track path that's available down here. Go through a little bit of field 41 and down to field 42, I think this is, or field 43 and then field 42, whichever way around it is. But as you can see here, we've got some stuff coming up into view, and a John Deere harvester that's entirely blocking the road. That was my fault. I should not have put that there. Let's get this moved out of the way. In fact, we may have to just take it into the yard. And as you can see here, this is our yard. So if I pop into our landscape view quick, you can see it a bit better. Here we go. So yeah, that's where our John Deere is now. That's one entrance. We got the Amory CNS seed fertilizer sale point thing there. We've got ourselves another fuel storage up here, just next to this shed. Then we've got some sort of bale and tool storage here. Around here we've got, since we're doing TMR now as our sort of major income stream, that is the Missy B forage harvest storage building thing. So we can actually put all of the loose products in there as well, which may be something we're looking at doing later on, but for now we're doing with bales. Then we've got some more storage back there. We've got this sort of warehouse storage thing that has a workshop in it, which I didn't realise at the time, and it's got like a little office slash kitchenette area thing there. Then we've got this barn here, which has a much bigger area for workshop purposes, so that's good. Some storage here, another shed here with the stuff, and a little bit of storage around the back here. There's a patch of field here that we will need to fix at some point, but I did actually pick up a vanity plough, as I'm calling it. It was a little 600 quid like half-metre plough, something like that, just to fill in some of these little patches that we need to do. We've got a tree put in there, and a little bit more storage around the back here. I had another entrance this end as well. So overall, if we back it up, we can see there we've got ourselves quite the nice little yard. and there's still a good amount of field left down there as well, which I am well pleased with. So, and it's got barley planted in it at the moment. So once spring happens, we can get in there. I need to open the gate. Now that one opens out, whereas the other one opens in, but it doesn't block the road, which is good. So yeah, we got this down here, basically just to give it a quick wash, because we did get a wash thing set in here, little Karcher movable one that we can just run around and clean some stuff with down here as needed. But yeah, this really nice little yard setup going on there. But yeah, we are going to take that John Deere back up to the store and get it sold, and with any luck pick up that New Holland harvester before the end of the day here, or in fact before too long, just in case it goes off sale, because that thing is going to be a very nice upgrade, and also looking to the future a little bit as well, because it's such a good size harvester and a much more modern one than the class that we still have that we started with. If and when, because we are going to move on to other areas at some point. Excuse me there. Yeah, if we when we're ready to move on, we could quite happily leave the New Holland here to work the fields and help the locals and do all their stuff here, and then take that class with us to a new area, so we've got a little something to get started with, and yeah, it wouldn't put any extra strain on what we're doing with our operations here either. So it's looking to sort of future expansion, as it were. So yeah, so I'm going to get this sold, this first of today's 2 loads, and we'll get the rest of that sorted out, and we'll have to start moving the tools and bales and stuff over, and get that farm, nice new sort of farmyard that we've got, all set up properly and looking nice. So we shall carry on with that, and see you all probably when spring begins, and we can get on with scanning our new field and fixing everything we need to on that, and repurposing all our other ones, because we missed the opportunity to do that before winter, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll carry on with all that, and yeah, we'll see you in spring, when spring springs. Good morning, everyone. It is now spring. Spring has sprung. There was an appropriate boinging noise in the early hours this morning while we were sleeping, and yes, we are now in early spring. And we got an early start as well. It was a little bit dark, so didn't have the camera turned on straight away. But yeah, we got our little tiny potato field down here. We've had that, got that cultivated, and we are just resowing potatoes. Now, it's not going to be the most magical crop in the world, doing it like this, but you know, it's such a small thing. There's not really going to be any way to get like an actual harvester in here. You know, unless we happen to like buy a really small diddy one, but at that point it's not worth it. You know, for something this small, I mean, we could have put a run of sugar beet in it maybe, but we don't actually have sugar beet, and I should have reversed down and started this at this end again. But yeah, we didn't think to really put anything too terribly big in here, because it's one of those things. This is just too small for any major crops, I think, down here, and that's okay. That is not a big deal. So we are going to get on with this. We've had a look at the contracts, and we've still got a couple of them to do. We've got fertilising for Rebecca and Karen there, and also sowing for Anthony. Now, he does have a fertilising job going as well, but we're going to get that sowing one done and then see if he wants us to fertilise both of them, because we have been doing a fair bit of work for him last year on those fields. So yeah, there's a good chance that he'll want us to fertilise that as well, which is fine, because we can do that all at the same time. And oops, missed a tiny spot there. And we are also looking at purchasing a grass field this year. So I have to have a look at that and see what's going to be a good deal. Because there are a few around. I mean, technically we do have our own field now. We've got a couple of fields, so I mean we could potentially convert one of them to grass. But the thing is, at the moment, oh, it's because it's going off the track slightly, isn't it? Okay, there we go. I think that's getting as close to the edge as it will. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we do have fields that we could repurpose as grass fields, but one of them's got crop in it and the other one hasn't got anything in it. So if we wanted grass this year to make into hay, that's not really a good situation. So what we are going to do, I'm just going to deposit this thing somewhere around here because we'll need to take it away with us in a minute. So we'll just plot this here, off to the side, out of the way. There we go. And in fact, when we come down and get it, we can refill it too, because there's a few pallets of spuds left over from last time, just sitting in there, so we get them out of the way. But we're going to grab the cultivator, go up to our little tiny thin field, which I can't remember the name of. I think it's like field 40, something like that. Let's have a quick look on the old Mapperoo. Oh, field 44. Okay. Yeah, this one's 47, little tiny one. Yeah, we're basically going to do the same thing again. We'll just cultivate it and then pop in potatoes and do some more of the old quality spuds next the end of the year. Yeah, they seem to go quite well, so that's not going to be a problem, I don't think. Now we'll come back down and get that potato harvester in a little bit. I'm thinking about upgrading this cultivator too, because it's just a 3-metre one, and although it works for what we're doing with these two small fields, it might be worth getting something a little bit bigger, maybe a foldable 4 or 5 metre one, just so there isn't quite so much back and forth around the field for these two small ones. And then if we get something a little bit bigger, like come up on a contract, we could maybe use it for that, that sort of thing. And obviously we are looking at getting a big cultivator as well, because we've got obviously field 42, 3, whichever one that is that we pull. I'm so bad with these field numbers. But yeah, this field up here that we've got, we'll need to cultivate that at some point. Probably later this year, because it's got barley sown in it at the moment. Although it's been planted, but it hasn't, nipping here quick, it hasn't actually started growing yet, so fingers crossed that will be okay. So yeah, let's start going with this. But yeah, as you can see from this one, being slightly bigger than the other one as well, it's going to take a few goes up and down. I mean that's not a problem, obviously, but for what it is, we want to be as efficient as possible, so we don't have to spend all day going up and down doing this. And if we can sort of trade this up for something slightly bigger, then that's all the better for us. In fact, when we get to the end of the row here, we'll have a quick look at the classifieds and see what's floating around, because there might be something. Yeah, I think we've still got over in our little potato cellar down there, I think we've still got a few potatoes from last year too that we didn't actually clean and wash and sort. So we may well be able to, if we don't get the best crops off of this year, then we may well just use some of those as well. With any luck, we'll get this all properly fertilised though this year, and get the lime done as well if it needs it. The other one was okay with the lime, but it's not going to hurt to maybe we'll have a quick check of this one while we're here. Yeah, see, this one's a lot worse. The other one was still in the okay range for lime, so this will definitely have to lime before we can get some potatoes in it. but that's not going to be a problem. We have a lime/fertilizer spreader, so we can deal with that as well. Get that done and get some spuds planted, get on with some of those seeding contracts, and if we can, it would be good to get some fertilizer on that field as well. So yeah, we've got a pretty busy day ahead of us today. Oh yeah, I was going to check the classifiers, wasn't I? Let's have a quick look, see if there's anything available. Well, that's a weeder, unfortunately. There is this for 16 grand, but it's a 180 horsepower requirement, so yeah, I don't think we'll get that one. Looking for something more, not exactly old style, but a bit smaller, a bit less, 12 metre cedar. Interesting. Planter. No, that's a lime spreader. That's interesting. Is it? Curious. Maybe it's, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, no, there's nothing particular on sale there that we'd get. But, yeah, so, actually let's check the vehicles just in case, because you never know. We did get that, oh, it was an Iveco, that thing. A couple of Masseys, nothing too much that we need there. Yeah, so we'll carry on with this, get some cultivating done. We might send off one of the locals to start getting ahead on some of those contracts that we've got still, and see if anything new comes up. And yeah, we shall carry on and have a bit of a montage, I think, of some of the many jobs we'll be doing today. Hello again, everyone. So yeah, we've done a few bits and bobs here. We've got One small mission to go on now. It turns out I forgot that you're supposed to plough between potato seedings. So yeah, that's a thing, that is. So I'm on the way up to grab a 3-metre subsoiler from the store and give that a little bit of a go around our field. As you saw, we got one of them limed, and the small one's already been planted with spuds, but I'm almost tempted just to go over it again, because potatoes are cheap and it's not like we can't afford them, because we've got plenty to spare from last season, so we can replant those as seed potatoes. Before we get too far, I'm just gonna there should be a spot where we can pull off to the side in a second, because there's a grass field here on the right that I am quite tempted by. So we're just going to pull in here for a moment and have a quick look outside, because this field here, I want to say, is about 70 odd grand. It looks like a pretty good sized grass field. Let's have a quick look in the old landscape drone. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent size. It is actually a field as well, so that's good. Yeah, I'm wondering if this might be worth buying for our use as a grass field. The other option we had, obviously, is quite a sort of long, thin one. I mean, that shouldn't be a problem. The only issue might be bales rolling off into the drink there, because that can happen. The only other option possibly is this field here, which I think was a tiny bit cheaper. Again, might make for a good grass field. And there's this tiny one here which is like 20 grand. Now, I am tempted to get this one anyway, because, you know, we could potentially pop it in as a small to medium potato field. But yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, that might be a bit small for a grass field. Thinking about the amount of bales we get from baling contracts. Obviously we'll be making it into hay, but yeah, we're going to need more hay than we do straw. So yeah, I think maybe either this one, which I think we get into from the same place, yeah, or possibly this one here. So let's have a quick look on the map screen, see what they are. So we're looking at yeah, field 4 is this great big one here, big long one. That is, where's the price? 69,000 to buy that, and that is 1.8 hectares. There's also field 5 that was an option. That's only 0.8 hectares though, and it's 40 grand, but it is a high yield potential. So there's that one, or we're looking at field 8, which is same price as field 4 basically, but slightly less size. That's 1.8. Oh no, it's actually slightly bigger, for slightly less. Ah, interesting. Maybe we'll go for that one then, field 8. And field 9 down there obviously is only 20 grand, but yeah, we won't worry too much about that one, I don't think. But yeah, so maybe we'll look at getting field 8 a little bit later in the year, possibly. Yeah, but for now, I need to run back over here, pin the old tractor, which has miraculously turned itself off, and get going again. Nothing coming, should be fine. Now, we've got the potato seeder on the back with us, because we are just going to grab it and run completely over that pedestrian that nobody saw. No one saw that at all. Nothing happened there. It was just a figment of our imaginations. Yes, no one saw anything there. But yeah, we got the old potato seeder on the back, or planter, whatever that thing is, and we are going to should be able to attach that to the back end of the little subsoiler thing that we got. It wasn't massively expensive. It was just a little base game, in fact, combi plough subsoiler thingy for 7 grand. I figured it kind of matches the colour on the planter a little bit there, so we'll get this. Back up to this, hopefully it'll connect. Yes it will, lovely. So we shall erase this all up. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit janky, but it'll work. We can make it work. So yeah, I'm going to take this back down to our field now. And before I do, we need to cash in those contracts as well and have a quick look at the correct menu, for one thing. And that was the wrong button again. Okay. So we've got 39, 45 and 10 to collect there. So we are going to take this one for fertilising field 11. Now, okay, let's see if we can get some more contracts to pop up. Mash the new contracts button a few times. Let's see. Oh, we've got quite a lot of fertilising contracts coming in now. Not one for field 10 yet, but ooh, field 16. That's a big boy. We definitely want to get that one. Let's see. 33, 30, 33, 37. Ooh, 38 and 40. Yeah, those should be fairly close together, I think. Let's check the map here. Zoom out a little bit. 37, 38 and 40. So I think we are going to get those three for now. And apparently I'm also going to take the wrong contract. I just noticed I picked up 33 in the midst of all that. So yeah. Is there anything else? It's all cultivating at the moment. Where is field 30? Oh, it's just down there. I suppose we could get that as well. Because we got 33. Where's 33? Oh, 33 is that big, funny shaped one. Okay, well, might as well get field 30 because we'll be down there. And it's all glitching again. No? Can let us accept it? How about now? Oh no, I think it's disappeared. Oh no, we have got it. Lovely. Well, that was exciting, wasn't it? Yeah, so, and obviously we do want to get field 16 as well, because that would be a very nice one. And in fact, field 2. And we were hoping to get the planting contract for that, but that disappeared before we could get it. Which is unfortunate, but, you know, it happens. So, it looks like we're going back to our roots as of when we first started, in fact. Which is not a bad thing, and we do have 2 sprayers that we can use, or spreaders. Well, we've got 1 spreader and a sprayer. So, we we can use both of them. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. Yeah, so, yeah, we're going to carry on with that. I am going to get back down to our potato field and sort out the tiny hiccup I may have made with those in not ploughing. Yeah, we'll get that all done, and see you all again probably mid-spring, I would say. By the time we've got all of that stuff done, that'll probably take a good few days. Okay, well, as you can see, there may have been a slight change of plan. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may notice that we are no longer in the MB track, because mistakes were made, somewhat. After a little bit of back and forth between the field and the shop, it turns out the seeder, or the potato planter rather, that we had was only a 2-metre one. And it was also being a little bit of a pig on those fields for some strange reason. Now, it could have been partly related to the MB track and the different height of 3-point link on the back end compared to the little old fent that we did it with originally. But it was having a right mare with that little old seeder, planter rather. So we fertiled around, we tried switching some things up. It turns out also it was a solid metre smaller than the subsoiler we were trying to use, so that didn't help either. and it all just went a little bit pear-shaped, for want of a better description. Well, I could think of a better description, but that wouldn't be polite. So what we are in fact driving now, if I pop out the old drone so you can have a look, we have this, a lovely Deutz-Fahr Agrotron. It is the 150 model. It's quite nice. It only cost us 36, well, a bit over 36 grand after the upgrades. We've also got a new weight on the front there, and the Tetra 4-meter subsoiler that only requires 100 horsepower. Now, as you can see just to our right, the other reason we had to get a bigger tractor is because we also plumped for a bigger seeder, or planter. I keep calling that thing is it a seeder? I think it's a planter. Yeah. And essentially, let's check the map before I go and ruin everything even more. Okay, now what needs ploughing? Mostly, I think everything that's not seeded probably needs ploughing. Yeah, because as you can see, we sort of tried previously, but that little potato planter, the old one, was just hopping and bopping and bouncing along and carrying on like thing possessed, and it did not want to work properly. So you know what, we're just going to plough the whole thing up and be done with it. Yeah, so basically what we ended up doing was selling the MB track. We bought this brand new because it was only 36 grand I think for the base model. It might even have been only 31. Let's have a quick look. Be in here. Agrotron. Yeah, it was this one, the 128. It was only 31 grand to begin with. We got the not the narrow tyres. I think we're on the 150s, or no, we're on the Michelins. We also got the engine upgrade to 150 horsepower. So in the end, we didn't actually buy the front loader for it yet, but we will need to. And we did get the front 3-point. So all told, it probably cost us close to about 45 grand, I think. And we then sold all the previous stuff. This all sort of kind of halfway paid for itself a bit. So we ended up paying something like about 20 grand, maybe 30 grand out of pocket for all the upgrades. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I think this is a seeder, subsoiler, not a plough. But we are getting that ploughed texture. Let's just see. Can we? Oh, we can create fields, so maybe this is a plough. But it was in the subsoiler section, so that's what we were aiming to get in the first place. Oh, actually no. This was in the plough section. Tell a lie. It was the Valentini Ripper, I think it was a subsoiler. But that was like twice the price of this one and only half a metre wider, so I figured, yeah, we'll just get this one and be done with it. But yeah, so obviously we've got a lovely weight on the front with a 3-point attachment, so we basically when we're doing the potatoes we can carry this back and forth between the two fields with the seeder on it if we want to, or anything else that we happen to want to carry along. It could be we just subsoil both of them next time and then take the potato planter and the little fertilizer sprayer down together. You know, there's options. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. Suddenly new tractor. And I know I'm ploughing back in the potatoes I just planted, but we're fine for spuds. We are all good. The other field is done already. And we shall continue onwards with this new setup that I think should work quite well. So go that way a bit. Yeah, there we go. So yes, as I was going to say before, we should continue on our merry way with this. A little bit of slippage there at the end of the field. But yeah, we shall continue ploughing on, as they say. Haha. And yeah, so yeah, if you've enjoyed whatever this was, then please give us a like and hit the old subscribe button there too if you haven't already. And comments are always welcomed, and if you'd like to share this video, that would be greatly appreciated. And after all that faffing about, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you all next time. Cheerio.